Hello fam, welcome back to the African Diaspora News channel. I am Wongel Zelalem and today we're talking about Cameroon. The president of Cameroon has been in office for 43 years. He is the second longest serving president in Africa after the Equatorial Guinea president Theodore. So the president of Cameroon, Paul Biya, is being called out by his own flesh and blood, his daughter Brenda Biya. She is urging her fellow Cameroonian people not to vote for her own father. According to reports, the president's only daughter made a video on social media telling voters to not cast their ballot for her father in the upcoming presidential election. As we all know, he is campaigning for his 7th re-election as president, and he wants to continue being the president, although the people of Cameroon are not very pleased with him. They are done with his basically dictatorship because he's been in office for 43 years. This is incredibly wrong. However you look at it, this is not a dynasty. He's not a king. He doesn't own Cameroon and the people. So at the end of the day, he should be okay with having a fair election, which, as you know, a lot of countries, not just in Africa, although in Africa it's very plain and it's very easy to spot out who is rigging elections because of how the people are out there protesting, how the people are very vocal about who they want, who they don't want. But then after election, we still see 99% of the votes going to that president or that prime minister, which is telling on its own. So that's why it's easier to spot rigged elections in Africa. But there are other parts of the world where there are rigged elections. It's just they're very cunning and they make it believable, and they don't go out there and claim that they have won the vote of their people by 99%, which is ridiculous. Sometimes it feels like the African leaders are not even trying to hide the fact that they have rigged the election. So in this case, the people of Cameroon clearly are done with Paul Biya, but it seems like he's not done with the power. Although I don't believe this is the right thing for him to do, to continue pushing the people to their limits, because we've seen what's been happening in a lot of these African countries where the presidents, the leaders, the government believe that they can control the people, and then the people snap and they've had enough and they remove them from power. So for his own daughter to call for the people to not vote for him is incredibly telling on where they are as a family. Actually, this is her direct quote. She said, quote, "My father has already labeled me as a prodigal daughter simply because I refuse to pretend and support his continued rule over Cameroon after 43 years. She said, "He calls me a spoiled brat for defying the dynasty and blames himself for giving me a good life. But what is a good life without happiness? Is life truly good when it comes at the expense of the average Cameroonian's happiness? Who yearns for freedom and peace of mind, knowing that the wealth beneath Cameroon's soil is exploited to fund the luxuries of Western elites?" She continued and said, "Call me names, father, but the people of Cameroon deserve freedom," end quote. This is serious. Honestly, we've not heard kids of these dictators or these leaders coming out and speaking out against their parents. Brenda is one of those rare ones, and I wonder why she is saying this now. She also mentioned that she is not in contact with her father, which explains why she feels comfortable saying these things, because if they're in good terms, we probably would have never heard her speak this way about her father. But anyways, fam, let us know down below what your thoughts are about this. And if you're from Cameroon, what are the people saying about his own daughter going against the president? I am Wongel Zelalem. I'll see you on the next one. Bye.